Hi everyone, welcome back to Mom Interrupted. Now today we are tackling an interesting topic that perhaps comes with its fair share of myths and hesitation. Chiropractic care for expecting moms, babies and kids. Now full disclosure, I'm currently about 23 weeks pregnant, less than a week back from a family trip, and my body was feeling it. A few days ago, I actually had my very first adjustment ever. I went in a little unsure of what to expect, even though Aymun did give me a bit of a heads up. But it was incredibly gentle and I felt some immediate relief. I came home, crashed into the deepest, most refreshing nap, and woke up feeling like a new person. And the magic hands behind the experience belong to my guests today. I am joined by Dr. Aymun and Dr. Radiah, the founders of New Beginnings Chiropractic, a beautiful family-focused practice here in Singapore, specializing in prenatal and pediatric care. But they aren't just clinical experts. Aymun is a mom to a 5-year-old, and Radiah is navigating a 3-year-old daughter while expecting her second. Congratulations. So today we are skipping the clinical jargon. We're going to bust the biggest myths about bone cracking, talk about how chiro supports the nervous system, and share some real talk about navigating early parenting. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having us. It's a beautiful setup.
Thank you very much. It might get a bit warm, but
That's great.
yeah. Okay, now, maybe right off the bat, let's address the elephant in the room. Okay, now when people think of chiropractic care, they may think of loud, bone-cracking sounds. And to a lot of people, the idea of doing that to an expecting mom or, more so a tiny, fragile newborn, it sounds really terrifying, right? What do you say to these people who are less informed and a lot more cautious about going to a chiropractor?
I always turn it into a bit of a joke. I'm like, less time on TikTok and Instagram and more time learning real life of what we do. Yeah. And we always say that if you find a chiropractor who's doing this to your baby, to your newborn, to your child, tell us so we can report them. Yeah. So the newborns that we see in the clinic, the children, the toddler, very gentle, very, very specific. It's like the pressure that I'm putting on your baby's body is like touching the firmness of an avocado. When you go to the shops, you're checking the firmness of an avocado or a tomato. You're just going like this, it's just very soft. You don't just squash it, right? It's checking that firmness. So we look at that's the amount of pressure that we're putting on their body. And we always start off, I show it to the parents on their hands, on their spine, on their body, what that pressure will feel like. That's the amount of pressure that we're putting. There is never any forceful movements. There is never, ever any cracking of their body or their spinal bone, nothing. And it's very gentle, specific adjustments through pressure. And that is more than enough. For a pregnant women, we are Webster trained. Okay. Webster protocol is the gold standard of adjusting a pregnant woman. So all our prenatal training has been done and we follow a set of steps when we're adjusting that pregnant woman. Start at the sacrum, the pelvis and move up the spine. As you lay down on those very comfy pillows, you lay head down, face down. We use the table to adjust you. When we put the force, obviously there is, so for adults, in their spine and the mid back and the neck, there's some cracking sounds. But the cracking sound is more just that gas releasing when that synovial joint kind of releases and collapses or comes down. It's the gas that's releasing. That's where the sound comes from. And honestly, a lot of people just they're like, oh my gosh, we really like that sound.
I love that sound.
It's something right? You like love that. Now it is a little bit louder in the neck because it's closer to the ears, exactly. But that's about it. But I mean, it's not ever painful. It's not a forceful adjustment. It's not a big adjustment where I'm like laying you on your side and crack and crack. It's none of that.
Honestly, I think like yoga is more strenuous. Like they will they can twist you around and all that. So it's milder and gentler.
And we always tell the patients on the table when they're laying down, obviously everyone's comfort level is a little bit different. Everyone's pain threshold can be a little bit, if you're already quite tight and tense, you've had a stressful pregnancy and you're already quite unsure, the body's not also going to allow us to like get in there and adjust.
So it's going to be stiffer
and when I'm not welcomed there, I'm like, hey, I don't think you're ready for this adjustment. We'll use other tools. We have the activator that I showed you as well.
Yeah.
We'll use that, or we'll just leave that. When your body's a little bit ready,
Yeah.
we'll try that again next week and just go from there.
Potentially, it could be a mental thing as well, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
first time you're not ready. It's
Yeah, you're growing a baby. There's a whole life inside of you. Just if it's your first time, you're just not sure.
Yeah.
But you're also in pain and discomfort. You want to address that. So yeah, it can be. It is hard to explain it, but once you kind of get over that, it's very simple. It's very gentle.
Yeah.
And it's very specific.
It's also the one-to-one experience. And obviously in person,
Yes.
there'll be like a, I mean, to put it very casually, like a vibe check between the chiropractors
Yes.
and yourself. You say how comfortable you feel.
Yeah.
And it's like for doctors, they'll call it like bedside manners, right?
Yeah.
Like how comfortable you feel with the doctor's mannerisms and
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
So it's all of this that comes into play too. So I had an amazing experience.
I'm great. I'm so glad. It was really nice to hear you. I was like, you had a nice sleep, because I told you, and I was like, listen to your body after this adjustment.
Well, what is that actually? Like,
It's just, so your body, okay, so pregnancy is hard. Pregnancy is hard, okay? It's a lot of like biomechanical stresses, physiological stresses on the body. You're growing alive. And then pregnancies, you're also raising 2 other kids. You've just come back from a holiday. It was amazing. You've said it was amazing. I saw it on your Instagram. It was great. But it was a lot as well, okay? And when we're pregnant, it can be so fight or flight.
Yeah.
And we're always scanning for dangers. We're always kind of like, okay, what's next? What do I need to do? Like before the start of the thing, your husband had to remind you to eat. You haven't even eaten. It's almost 11 o'clock. You're on your third pregnancy, you haven't even eaten. And you're going to just go. You were expecting us. You're just like this all the time. So it's that invitation of when we adjust you, your nervous system calms down, giving a chance to restore, repair, slow down, rest and digest, and your body like finally gets that chance, like that green light going, oh, okay, I can relax. Yeah. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can relax and I can go. And like, and what does the body want to do? Sleep, rest.
Yeah.
Because sleep is when we restore. So that's why a lot of our pregnant mothers, they'll be like, we got adjusted and then we had a sleep. Yeah, even our newborns, like when we adjust them, they're like every time they get adjusted, they will have a really, really nice nap afterwards. So when you come into the clinic, when you adjust the newborns, the parents will arrange like a lunch or a lunch brunch.
I like that. Mine as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
You enjoy a nice meal.
Yeah. So that's what they do. And so they just really just sleep and restore afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So obviously I know my experience based like as an expecting mom and as, going through all that. But for newborn and children, what is it like? Is it similar to older kids? The response is
Will be mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe I need to get my daughter.
Yeah.
Must find that spot.
They need it, right? You don't know there's big changes happening in the family. She's sensing it. You were sharing like earlier, like her sleep was a little bit affected like that. You don't know, like, these kids go about their day hoping so much.
Yes.
And then just little gentle adjustments, not to correct something. We're not chasing that symptom, rather just calming that nervous system, just supporting the nervous system through their growth and development, and just meet them where they're at and facilitate that growth.
Okay. I'm also curious. I mean, for newborns, it's probably like if they're crying a lot, there's latching issues and stuff like that. But for the slightly older kids, what is it like? Very active. Yeah. Like what do families come to you guys for usually?
For older kids, usually is bedwetting. Bedwetting is one. So emotional dysregulation sometimes to a certain extent. General wellness.
Okay.
Like what Aymun did mention before about backpacks being very heavy. We have to climb up 4 stairs of flights. Active kids. Very, very active into contact sports. So the parents want to make sure that the body is set and ready to recover.
Oh wow. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. I thought active kids just let them burn the energy.
But they need that, right? They fall down, they hurt themselves rather than just like, oh, you'll be all right. Like, yeah, sure, you may be all right. But if you work in a competitive sport and everything, you want to show up every day at every training, every game,
Like,
and you're back.
being able to perform.
Yes. And when that musculoskeletal system, that nervous system, brain, body is talking better, you're performing better.
Wow.
Yeah. So these will be the older kids for us.
Yeah, so those are the more like physical parts, but like bedwetting and emotional dysregulation, that's interesting. So adjusting will help them overall be...
So bedwetting has a few components to it. So, there's a big focus on in our clinic, like we have like younger kids who come in with a lot of oral ties issues. Also oral ties like tongue ties, lip ties, which may be affecting how if the function of the mouth is restricted, function of the tongue is restricted, then the feeding's getting affected. But if it's not caught on early and now your child's just been adapting over time, they may become mouth breathers. So if they're not breathing very well through the mouth, now they're snoring, their sleep is very sluggish, they're waking up tired, they're waking up angry, but they also have like an added layer of like, well, now I'm like 6 years old, but I'm bedwetting. So these kids also have what we call like retained primitive reflexes. So we check for those, we check how the nervous system's coping and why is it stuck in this I'm not going to let go. Your primitive reflexes should mature and go away because the brain's matured and just like, okay, I need to integrate and like go into other things. But why is it just hanging on to this? And then we see it as sometimes, your bedwetting, your poor handwriting, older kids who have got like very ants and pants. So the parents will come in and the teacher's been saying they can't sit still, they can't focus, or they can't write very well, or writing difficulties. That's what we check. If they need any other holistic supportive like work from the dentist or a homeopath or a naturopath, we get them that. And then just through regular adjustments, we just notice a big change in how they are not bedwetting, how they calm, they have a refreshed sleep, they wake up with more energy, they breathe better with their mouth closed through their nose. Their tongue is resting on the roof of the mouth, so their jaw develops better. So it's not just I'll take them to the chiropractor and they will stop bedwetting. There's just a bigger picture to that.
It's like something like holistic. Exactly. So you look at one and then if that solves one portion and then it flows to the other. And it's just like how they say if you want to, really change your life, work on one habit, like sleep. So if you sort out your sleep, like maybe your diet gets better, like everything kind
of course.
Knows. I guess it's something similar to that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of guarding my sleep. Like guard your sleep is like just medicine. You're just like
someday.
I know. You're in a different phase of your life. You're in a different phase of life. But wow. I know. This with after 2 kids. That it passes, that phase passes, that pregnancy, the baby will come and they will start sleeping. And we may have a different conversation 5 years later.
That's true.
Exactly. It's a phase that will pass. But it's like the rest that's important. Everyone has to do this. So just do it and then you just come out of it. You just have to do it.
But while you're doing it, get a support. So that you're not struggling alone. So that's why we are here.
You don't have to navigate this alone. You don't have to navigate this quietly thinking, oh my gosh, it's myself, it's just my baby, because we're just so told, right? It's just the way it is. But you don't have to take that as an answer. No, it's not just the way it is. Yes, it's a phase, but there's also phases like how much, if you're struggling with your mental health, with your physical health, with a baby that is not settling no matter what you do, there are people out there who will help you rather than wait it out. No, if your gut says something's wrong, your mom gut, trust it. It's there for a reason.
And obviously catching things early and you being told by professionals that it's a non-issue is better than you wait too long and then it becomes like it's a big issue and you're like, how do we tackle and break this down step by step once it's gotten really overblown. I'm also curious now that you're expecting does Aymun adjust you all the time or like
I adjust her more like frequently now than I was adjusting her before her pregnancy.
Because it is getting really tough. People are like, Yeah. Yeah, the emotional gets a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So some days I just wake up not rested.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I say, wait, adjust me. Yeah.
It's a little bit there.
Yeah.
So,
I think
yeah,
it's like adjusted weekly at this point.
Yes.
Like, especially after like a Friday and a Saturday shift, like just to kind of go into the week.
yes.
What we do is quite physical.
Yeah.
It's very physical on our bodies.
Yeah, and like physical work is just like a misuse, exert your energy as well. So
Yeah.
with every client, I'm sure you're exerting a lot, mentally, everything,
Yeah.
emotionally.
Yes,
too.
yes,
So,
yes, yes. Yeah, definitely. I think like physical, emotional, there's so many times like parents are sharing their stories. I end up crying.
Of course. Like you see the kid right there, and like the parents sharing with you, like wholeheartedly, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, especially it's just like I'm gonna start crying. They're talking about it because it's just these things. And
they're opening up their hearts, their stories.
Yes. Especially the ones who are just like, oh, but we were told that it's going to be okay, or we were told, like, we didn't know, why did we wait that long? And it's just kind of like, it's okay, but you're here now, let's get you the help. You hear me say this a lot. It's like, if I don't have the answers, I'll find someone who has the answers for you. It's okay. You know, let's just get it started. Don't waste, don't sit on
Trust the process, go with it.
Yeah, and it's not like there's no magic bullet. It's always like step by step. And
I wish I had a magic wand. Like everybody, all of a sudden you're like feeling, latching difficulties are sorted. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. There's so much more than that, you know. And it's also like the baby in front of you, and then like, okay, well, what's happening with the mom? Yes, the baby's getting adjusted, but what's the mom doing? What's the house situation? Like, are you getting the right support? It's so much more than that. It's just so much more than, oh, my baby's not like latching properly. Are you calm going in when you sit down to feed the baby? What if you're really tense? You're scrolling like Instagram, where we're just like telling you like 10 million different problems. Like, if you don't do this, you're this. Like, feel like try this method.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When moms get overwhelmed, it will be translated.
Absolutely.
So the way you hold the baby matters. It's different.
And honestly, I was just talking about this with another mom friend of mine. She's also expecting her third, and also around the same time as me.
Right.
So it's like crazy. I was telling her that like now with the third pregnancy, I feel like the times where I'm stressed, or when you feel angry and you feel your chest tighten.
Yeah.
And I feel that with the baby, and it's almost like I can feel the baby is stressing out as well. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, like I've never like picked that up for my first two pregnancies. But the third time when I'm stressed, I suddenly feel like the baby stressed too. Yeah, so that's like crazy.
You know, it's not just like a chiropractic philosophy or anything. It's like physiological. The stress hormones, like everything, like cross the placenta. Like that's why prenatal stress is a big component. Yeah, like it is a real thing, and I mean,
it's learning too, right?
Yes.
Like to the point where like you can't conceive if you're too stressed.
Yes.
Right.
So we always encouraging mothers, especially when they're pregnant, or manage your stress a little bit better. It's easier said than done, of course, but there are resources available. There is help available outside. Understand it and sit with it, and admit it that you're stressed. Like what we were sharing about, like, you know, like you're angry. You have to sit with it and accept it, that it was a feeling, and then because it's baby's feeling it, and you're almost like priming their nervous system even before they're born.
That's wild.
Sometimes you feel that you're not stressed, but your body tells otherwise. So admit that you are stressed.
That's difficult because it's like I don't know. I mean, we don't want to be totally extreme and wait till like you're fainting before you realize you're exhausted. But I find it very difficult to catch yourself, especially when your mind feels okay. But like you said, when your body is feeling like, do you have any like?
I feel like, I feel like the modern world, we set us up for like, you just do it. Stress is okay. You'll just do it till the mom is fainting. Till that low back pain just becomes a chronic issue. And we're just told, well, you're pregnant, you just have to put up with it.
Part of it.
What kind of answers that? Like, it's 2026. We are so medically advanced, right? The technology is at our fingertips the way it is. It's so advanced. And to be told that your sciatic pain or your lower back pain or the round ligament pain that you've got, it's just like, oh, you're just pregnant, you just have to put up with it. And we almost confused that common, that everyone has it, with that normal, that you just, oh, everyone has it. How many friends, like, you know, you're in your third pregnancy and you were probably just told, oh, everyone has it, but it's just common, doesn't mean it's normal. It's like physiologically something's going on in that spine,
That's
in that round,
that.
that is creating it. And with any low levels of pain that you may have and that discomfort, your nervous system is stressed out and you're passing those signals to that baby. You know, so again, like, you know, priming that. And then you almost have to faint for you to finally be taken seriously and then accept that this is a problem. You don't have to get to that stage.
So any sense of like discomfort or pain. But I guess that also requires you to really be honest with yourself, like where does feel uncomfortable, because sometimes we ignore this discomfort right? And it's the same thing, you're just ignoring it until it gets like,
it is hard, I have to admit, like, you know, it's like, listen, I only have, and I'm always honest about it, I have one child, okay, and I can't compare my situation to you. This is just the honest you know, like, I can't compare it. The amount of stress, is it still stressful for me? Yes, absolutely. Parenting is always stressful, but we hear that in clinic, right? It'll be like, oh, like I have to drop off one kid and pick up the other. Where do I make time for myself? And that's where I think, like, where that support and that village comes in a little bit. If you have it, use it. You don't have to do everything by yourself. You are growing a child. You have to look after yourself. That maternal health is important. You have to do it. Whether, even if it's just like, I'm going to just put the kids to bed and I'm going to go for a walk for like half an hour. You know, it's like small things like that. Or I'm going to go to the cafe after I've dropped the kids off. I'm going to have a nice breakfast and enjoy my cup of tea. It can be just simple things like that. And as the pregnancy gets, you know, as you get progress, like, join the Pilates, join the yoga, and tell the people, like, hey, I'm going at 6 p.m. This is on you.
Back at 7:30.
You'll have to help, because no one's going to come and help you if you don't help yourself. You'll have to put the first boundary. We have to learn. As women, we have to learn.
I found that really hard, especially with my first kid. Like, these boundaries thing. It's almost like each time, if I'm not physically there, if I'm not physically there, emotionally there is another thing. If I'm not physically there, I'm not being a mother. Like, it's something extreme like that, you know. When obviously, if you need to leave for a massage, you really need it, you need to go for your walk.
That mom guilt. It's like, are we looking after ourselves to show up better? But that leaving just like, it feels so bad, right? You're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen?
It's hard to draw that link, because like logically, you know, if you take better care of yourself, you take better care of your kids. But you always just want to short circuit it and be like, I just want to take better care of my kids. My kids. But I don't really want to or think I need to take care of myself. Women skip that.
We skip that.
That middle.
And just pouring from that empty cup. Pouring. So look after yourself.
But is it often where families come to you for their newborn or their babies, and then you realize that it's actually the mom's situation, and you have to communicate to the mom that maybe perhaps they need to be adjusted to, or is that does that happen?
To a certain extent, yes. And especially for a first-time mom. A lot of the time, you get overwhelmed. I would tell them that 0 to 3 months, it's a steep learning curve. Like, obviously, we're very foggy. So do take care of yourself. Make sure that you get the help that you need. You have to. So oftentimes I say that if your child is doing all right, you have to make sure that you are taking good care or have at least 5 minutes of breather. So that the night will not feel
so long.
But with parents with many kids.
We have a lot of parents. Naturally, I think what happens is, like, the mums do realize that they start here, themselves as well. They were like, oh yeah, we've been sitting down, like, either pumping for long hours or feeding, and then the upper body just gets really tired and the headaches and everything just catches up. If they've had a difficult birth and the pain's kind of just lingering in that lower back. So yeah, we do have some parents on this will start care. Most often, like if it was like they had started during their pregnancy, then they will bring their kids in and they will also just continue after pregnancy as well. It's a much more smoother transition. But it is difficult. I find it difficult to like communicate, okay, you need more help. Because they also don't know themselves first. But these things look for their kids. They're like baby first. Baby first.
And then they always say,
just take care of the baby first.
I would love it if I'm in your position.
They will like talk to the baby. They were like, oh, it feels so nice, right? Are you sure? Like when Aymun and Radiah, like Radiah's adjusting you, it must feel so good, and you can sleep so well afterwards. And then you're like, I'll be here when you're ready. I think they need to accept it as well.
It need. I mean,
it's like like they are saying it about themselves.
They know they need help. They know they've struggled the night before.
And sometimes, honestly, on the very, very practical front, if giving birth is expensive, right? And if they have to choose budget wise, do they spend it on the baby or do they spend it on themselves? They're like big answers.
It's a human thing to say. It is. If it was like between themselves and their kid, like you know what? Like if it was like between me and me feeding my child better, and latching, I would be like, here's a consult fee. Like, so go to the IBCLCs, go to the dentist if they need to, go to the chiropractor, whatever that needs to be done. Do it for my child so they can just feed better, and because that's my goal being met as well. For like, I want to feed the baby. Hopefully, like through this conversation and everything, we can just tell the people that like put yourself first as well. Yes, it doesn't have to be straight away. Address the child, and then when you have the capacity and when you have the means and everything, come back to yourself and look after yourself better.
And other ways
show up. Yes,
like for moms to take care of themselves. Right? It doesn't need to be so explicit.
No, it doesn't.
Just as long as they are aware of it.
Correct.
It can be just simple, like 1 or 2 yoga classes a week. It can be as simple as, fine, I'll baby wear and I'll go for a half an hour walk. Like Singapore, I've been seeing a lot more, they do the mom and babies walks. I know you go on some as well. Those are great. Join those groups, join those Facebook groups, join those mom chats, and get out there. Get the sun, get those people talking so you don't feel like you're the only one suffering.
Feeling like your issues are yours alone, I think that makes it feel very deep and dark, and maybe you kind of feel like you need to almost pretend to the world that you have this, that you can do it. But then once you start realizing that, hey, other moms are facing similar things, they're going through the same things, and then you're like, okay, so it's not that bad. This is pretty common across the board.
I was crying at 2 a.m. Someone else was probably crying. And it's also there's that sense of like, oh, okay, like if they've been through it, like it's good.
And they're fine now. So there's light again of the tunnel.
Absolutely. Did your one wake up last night a lot?
Yeah.
You guys can talk.
So I think,
but change coming both sides.
I think for my daughter, it's also post trips. Like I know trips are hard because most of the time they co-sleep on the same bed or whatever, and then suddenly they have to sleep like back to the home arrangement and like further away. And I don't have a proper day job, but my husband does. So it's a very distinct. On holiday, Papa is there 24/7. Back home, Papa is not there. And Papa's working in the studio or in the office, and so all these things, I think, it's part of it.
It's like it's transitioning back into daily life, and what do you mean? Like I'm not going to get attention from my parents full time anymore.
And then I think there's also, I don't know about your kid, but I think my kids are also regressing a little because I'm expecting. So
and you need more connection, right?
But you have lessons.
But I mean, we were talking about, so we did like a webinar last night, and that's what we were talking about, right? We were talking about just just connection. They just need that connection, and it could just look like you take your daughter out for like half a day or something. It doesn't need to be so much. It's just like little things.
Bits, yeah.
And so she doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, my brother's taking up all my time. It's just like, just one-on-one. But you're right, you have less to give right now. But it's just again, like, if you remind yourself, it's also a phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll have to show up in different ways.
Wow, I think we've covered like a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
We did mention a little bit about nervous system and co-regulation. So maybe let's go a little bit deeper into that. So chiro care has a very deep focus on the spine. I would say it's the main one.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Which is also obviously very embedded with the nervous system. For the layman's understanding, how does chiropractic care help with the nervous system?
Okay.
Yeah.
I always think of it as like, if I can explain it to a 5-year-old, I've done my job.
Yeah.
Well, your nervous system is housed by that spine. Okay. We can't talk about the nervous system. We can't talk about the brain and the body without going, okay, where's the focus on the spine? It's that body-brain connection, okay, and it has to talk both ways. Your brain is constantly sending signals down to your organs, to the muscles, to the tendons, everything, and communicating. You don't have to sit here and be like, oh, I need my lungs to breathe. I need them to digest my food. Yeah, of course, like I have to move my arm, but it also needs to go back. Okay, so it's a two-way communication system, not just a brain to my muscle, but also muscle gives that feedback back. So if you think of your spine as that river, and then, okay, so you have your spine. I don't need the model. I should have bought it. I should have bought it. But okay, you have the spine, and the spine house. So you have got the brain up top, then comes the spinal cord, and then the spinal cord branches out into lots of different nerves. Okay, those are your nervous system. That makes up your nervous system. So that feedback constantly just helps. When there's areas of stress, birth being a big one, it's a big movement for your baby that they need to squeeze through like a very narrow passageway, hopefully with their chin tucked in, the head rotated and just coming out. It can put a lot of stresses on their baby's neck, how they then perceive the world. It also knows like how they will be with their latching, how they move their neck, how they do their tummy time, how they regulate, how they then later on meet their milestones and stuff. Or if an adult, there's like micro stresses of, I sit down for my job all day, I have like low back pain, I don't move a lot, or I have previous injuries, it creates areas of interference and areas of tension in the spine. So chiropractor's job is to find those areas of tension, find those areas of interference, release that, so there's better communication. So it's like, then the neck can move better.
Okay. It's a jammed highway.
Jammed highway. Yes. Jammed highway. So that in that river, the riverbank is not clogged. So everything, the water flows better. Yes, exactly. Okay. So but that focus is calm that nervous system down so it can function better. Yes, your baby is not latching. I completely respect that. I know that. Yes, I would like, my goal is, my outcome is, okay, baby latches better, baby empties the breast better, baby feeds better. But okay, why is it not moving? Why is the neck stuck on that right side? What happened at birth? Tell me what was happening during pregnancy. Were there instruments used, like at birth? And if it's all causing, like, if you've now had a birth with forceps, okay, and how that neck was just taken out with these barbecue tongs, it's going to affect what is happening at the top part of the neck and what those nerves are doing that goes to my mouth, neck, and shoulders. Yeah. So
I feel like it's like a bit of a flip side. Now we are all like, whatever birth you had, whether it's what you imagined or not, as long as baby and mom is safe, that's enough. Exactly.
I'm so happy.
No, because then you're like, then it becomes like, the conversation becomes like it doesn't matter whether it's natural or C-section or whatever, as long as baby and mom is safe.
Yeah, so thank God the baby is, but that's not.
Yeah, but that's not.
Is that a ceiling?
Yeah.
Is that what we aiming for?
Yeah, that's not it. So if it didn't happen like in the most natural way, whether by choice or whatever, then something could have happened with the baby. baby, right? In the way it's delivered in the world, and that could affect when the baby is out. So sometimes I think, I don't know, like modern world, sometimes we may oversimplify things where like everything's okay, like it's all okay, whatever means, whatever method, it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
But it's not that.
It's not as simple as that.
Yes.
I feel like, you know, like, isn't it like, they say like, oh, I had a normal vaginal birth.
Yeah.
I feel like the word normal does a lot of heavy lifting here.
Yes.
You're like, okay, I'm so glad like it worked out, but like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more than just, I had a normal vaginal birth.
Even if it's a vaginal birth.
Yeah.
What could have potentially?
What else has happened? Were you on your back? Were you induced? Were your waters broken?
Yeah.
Were you ready? Was the baby ready? Was there like hands being put up in that birth canal then helping the baby? Because all of this is still considered normal.
Yeah.
You know? So yes, I'm so glad that the mum and baby are safe.
Yeah.
Great.
Of course.
But
that's like baseline, right?
Baseline. But that's the baseline. But it's sort of normalized into
exactly.
it makes the baby, mum and baby were saying like mum is now like hemorrhaging and bleeding out, and you're just like, at least she's safe.
Like her lower back has never been the same.
Yes.
She gave birth,
yes. And you're just like, at least they're fine. At least you're taking the baby home. I'm so glad. But that is the basic. That's the basic. Are they feeling supported?
Which is ironic, right? I mean, like you said earlier on in this conversation, 2026, medicine has advanced so much, and yet sometimes our standards are so low.
I think that's the reason why it's easy for them to accept.
It's what, sorry?
Acceptance.
What do you mean?
See, for example, if you put the boundaries with that,
you accept it.
You look, your baby's alive.
don't overcomplicate things.
Like, sometimes they compare it to an extreme. Or at least you and your baby are like, I'm like, that's our heart goes out to the
of course,
like the extreme ends, but this is my reality right now. I am struggling, my baby is struggling. We should strive
for
something better.
And just being heard a little bit. So I had an emergency C-section 5 years ago. I was aiming for obviously a vaginal birth, unmedicated. That was the whole plan. Everything was going really well. Then my son pooped inside. Meconium, so heavy meconium staining. And it wasn't just like a light color. So like depending on like how dilated you are and like the staining of it, like it was very heavy green, like very heavily stained and everything. And they were like, oh, listen, this needs to move. Even though I'm not going to stand there and argue. I knew looking at my waters, I'm like, okay, let's get a move on. Okay. I was so grateful for that decision that I made, my gynae at the time, and moving as fast as we did. And yes, but you need to feel supported in all of this. Am I making informed decisions through this process? Am I being scared into doing this? That, oh, this is happening to the baby, this is happening, like the heart, like all of those things that fear-mongering that we hear of. Am I making informed decisions that are good for me and my baby? Or is it just, this is just how it is? Because so many of the procedures, at least I will speak for Singapore because I haven't worked in New Zealand and Australia long enough to kind of understand those birthing procedures much, but it's just like, just the way it is. Just how it is. You like, but I don't have to accept it. Am I making an informed decision about it? Okay. Like, am I being told of my risks? Am I being told of what to expect on the other side? And also, once it's happened, with my baby feeling supported and my feeling supported afterwards. So once my baby was here, so even by the time they took him out, and I'm glad I made that decision, right? Because he had like taken it in his mouth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there was like a little bit of aspiration, but not far enough. So he just taken out and they had just like scooped it out very quickly. Yes, in that moment, I'm always glad that the mom and baby are okay. Absolutely.
For sure.
But at what cost? Are you traumatizing the mother through this and just going, oh, at least you're grateful. And
at least you're alive.
At least you're alive. You're like, oh my God. I feel like
and things like sometimes I think, I don't know whether it's like being a woman, being a mother, or whatever, but sometimes we may carry the baggage from past decisions into the future. So like, for example, if I, like you perhaps, I wanted everything natural and then I couldn't, and then I take that baggage and I want to like die on that hill, like that is the way to go, and ignore the current issues that your newborn is facing. Whereas you should kind of take it as a bit separately, like, yes, that didn't go as it was supposed to, but I always feel like everyone has the birth that they're supposed to have. But at present, right now my newborn is having these issues, and I need to acknowledge that it could or it could not have been because of how he came into this world.
Absolutely.
And then like problem solve accordingly. Like don't bring your baggage from your unplanned.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And C-sections are hard.
Yeah,
On top.
hard. And then it's a huge 7 layers.
Yes. So we always say this, right? This is a whole abdominal surgery. If you had an abdominal surgery for whatever reason and there was no baby coming out of it,
it's a big surgery.
It's a big surgery. You wouldn't be told to like, let's show me how you can walk.
Yep.
You'd be told like 6 to 8 weeks, bed rest. And a C-section, like they give you a baby, here's a baby, you're bleeding, you still have to bleed, remember? And they're like, oh, go take care of this baby. And a lot of people say, oh, C-section's the easy way out. You're just like, are you kidding me? How are you saying that? It's not the easy way out. It's so painful, and afterwards that recovery with the baby. So more and more parents are realizing that, you know, the amount of stresses that are put on the baby and the mom, it's quite hard to recover from. We're a chin that is tucked in when you're with your vaginal birth. Now then the neck gets taken out like this. So it's a completely different mechanism that your baby is going through with their neck. They don't get the compressive forces of birth, you know, through that labor. Through those contractions, and how the nervous system gets activated through that labor delivery contractions. That's not happening. People are making more informed, which I'm really grateful for, making more informed decisions about their birth. They're not, hopefully not getting fear-mongered into, you know, let's just go for a C-section.
Let's switch things up a little bit. Maybe based on both of your experiences, what has been one of the more like rewarding stories that you've had with moms or kids that you can think of? I'm sure there's a lot over the years.
So many. It's so many. I mean, like on our Instagram, you know, like we do like a wins of the week kind of thing right now. Or like we like compile them over there like a couple of weeks. Oh my gosh. You do one. Okay, you do one.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'll speak about pregnant. So pregnant mom came in. She is about, I think, second trimester. She came in and she said that I can't sleep. I just cannot sleep. And it was her first pregnancy. And I'm like, okay, why? Is it because you're feeling uncomfortable? I don't know. I couldn't find a right spot. And I said, oh, during pregnancy, sometimes that happens. And then I assessed her, speak to her, and I realized that she's holding a lot in her body.
Like feelings?
Feelings and generally a physical stress. Yeah, I mean, it translated into physical stress. So I adjusted her, and then she suddenly let out I'm like, oh, wow, you're holding a lot of tension that is being translated. So from emotion to physical tension. So this whole session ended, she went back, and then she didn't take up a care package with us because I think she's that she was just looking for some quick relief. Which I understand. And then I text her, how are you feeling after the session? And she said, oof, I slept like long naps. So that was the first time throughout her first trimester and to the second that she had a good sleep.
After being able to sleep, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, and like sleep deprivation really like makes you
pregnancy is so tough, Is it like it is tough, but there are ways to navigate and to get support. So that she came back and she got the care program. So throughout her pregnancy, she religiously
I love that.
And until she gave birth, and she said that, and then she speak of her experience to her friend. So I think that was the biggest impact that we have given to a mom, a first time mom.
Throughout first, second trimester, that's
She had a tough first trimester. Going into second trimester so heavy, and she said that, is this going to be it?
This is what my life gonna look like.
Worse and worse as you get bigger and bigger.
I know she chose C-section. So I respect that. It's okay. Whatever you choose, you have chosen it, right? So it's okay. You're mentally prepared for it. But as of now, how do you manage your pregnancy to make sure that we are actually dealing with a great nervous system, pelvic function, to make sure that your baby is growing well as well. So that was a beautiful story that I've kept with me up until now. Because that was the first time when we moved into our new place.
It's like, and I actually do want to point out over here, like although that she had made the informed decision about the C-section, a lot of people think that, oh, I'll go to a chiropractor because I want a vaginal birth.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, I don't need my pelvis to move or anything in a way that, that will help me in labor and delivery. Regardless.
Because they are choosing C-section.
Yeah. So regardless, your pelvis needs to move better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your baby needs more space to move around in. Your body needs some extra support from the aches and pains of pregnancy, from the biomechanical aspect of your body's moving, your body's growing, your body's shifting. So you need that support. There is a bit of a misconception around that as well. That, oh, I went for a C-section. I'm like, yeah, but the baby's still gonna come out. But also more like, they're still gonna make the cut down here for that baby to ideally be like taken out. And if the baby's now in a breech position that hasn't moved, more pressure on that baby to come out. Bum out first, and they're tugging and pulling. So regardless, supporting your body is always a good idea. Not just when you're aiming for like a vaginal birth.
I understand. And I think from what I'm hearing, it's like, yes, we need to think about the future, whatever plans you want, whether it's plans you set or you're aiming for vaginal birth. But the present is to what's the state right now, what's your pregnancy right now, not just what you are aiming for. I think sometimes maybe we just think of the future and we like more the present, and we're like, doesn't matter, what matters is I get my future that I want.
And also, it's like this example here, right? Like what Radiah has shared. It had nothing, she's like, oh, I want to sleep better. So it had nothing to do with like pain that she was in or her birthing outcomes or anything. But like, hey, I think like I'm holding on to so much stress and tension. I'm always fight of like, I need to rest. And this is not something we advertise that you're like, oh, become, you are kind of thinking of you. There's so much more. It's just like that little bit of support and like that mom. Okay, I can breathe better. Let's sleep better. It's crazy. There's so much more to like just that human body, right? Emotions and physical, mental state. Pregnancy is a lot. Motherhood is a lot. A lot.
What about like some examples of like kids?
It's always a bit difficult to choose from, but I think generally my favorite one would always be like something where the parents' goals and concerns are being met in terms of how they want to feed the baby. Okay. If the mom has the breastfeeding goal of like, hey, I just want to latch, I want to be able to breastfeed the baby, and this is what my goal is. We have a lot of beautiful wins like that where the mom was able to fully latch, the latch is improved, and the pain is less for the mom. The baby's feeding better, baby's now sleeping better, baby's pooping better, and they're just much more calmer and not like, like arching their back and straining, and the mom's like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I think the feeding ones are always really nice because it's just a sense of relief that you see on the parents. Because what is our aim in the beginning, right? Just feed the baby. So that
I mean, I have to ask this one, like when it comes to feeding, like when would it be to go to a lactation consultant, and when would it be the baby? Is it when you notice the baby's natural position, like the head's to one side, and then that's when they should go to a chiro, or when they should go to
okay, so there's a few things, right? Okay, so once you've given birth and you start feeding the baby on that, obviously day one, if you already know that you've had a difficult birth, if there were interventions if the baby was like breech and there was like a C-section, those already signs, signals, be like, okay, there was stress on the baby. Okay, and now you're trying to feed the baby and you're like, oh my god, something's not right. Okay, or if you're first time mom, so we always say, get that help sooner rather than later. Pain is not normal when you're feeding the baby. if the mum is experiencing pain, nipple pain, bleeding nipples, nipples changing shape, cracks, and the baby's clicking on it, get help, get the lactation consultant. A lot of the lactation consultants in Singapore now, we work with them quite closely, but also they're becoming more and more informed about like, okay, what happened at birth? How are they feeding right now? Do they need extra help from a chiropractor or anyone? So they will refer, which is great. I'm a firm believer in getting that lactation consultant sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Private one is better.
Yeah, customized.
Customized. They come home. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Also, you have to remember, do you know how feeding goes really well at the hospital?
And then
you come home and you're like, nothing is working.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the only one who's experienced it, right? Yeah. Like, we've all got breastfed babies. And then you're just like, I came home and nothing was working. Yeah, it happened to me.
Like what happened in the hospital?
Yeah. You're like, and then so we say that, right? Like they will fill out a form and they will say, oh, they lashed well at the hospital.
Yeah.
And the lactation consultant in the hospital said everything's fine.
Yeah.
And they came home, they're like, I don't know what happened. And then what do you do?
Yeah.
And then the mom's not feeling supported. Mom doesn't know where the answers are. And then you end up giving the bottle and you get like stuck in this cycle where the parents don't want to be in. We hear this firsthand. Like, I don't want to give the bottle, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So get that lactation consultant at home, and if you're already seeing, you know, signs of tension, tightness, that the baby's preferring one breast over the other, or they just like have a head preference, then the chiropractor comes in, and then together, when the tension is better, the baby's better, then the feeding outcomes are also improved. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are like the things that you kind of look out for.
I think it also boils down to like how informed you are.
Yes.
Like, if you realize that everything, it's like almost like a butterfly effect, right? Like how your pregnancy journey was, how your birth was, that could then affect feeding, and it's like a whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And like, also don't let yourself be like dismissed by the community or your pediatrician or your doctor. You're like, oh, this is how it is.
Like, the story to tell. So
okay.
My first...
Not a controversial question.
No. Controversial, sorry. So, it was my daughter. So we went to her 6 weeks checkup after like giving 6 checkup to the PD that was assigned to her based on the hospital that we were at. So we didn't really choose the PD. Yeah. And then he looked at me and he was just like,
I know where this is going.
Yeah, he looked at me and he was like, you look tired. You should just give formula.
Yeah.
The doctor said that. Like, I mean, I understand his concerns about my maternal health, yes, but there were no other questions about what's your support like, how is your sleep like, what are your feeding goals, what do you want to do. There was none of that.
Or that you're struggling with it.
It was none of that. It was immediately, it was just such a like, he jumped from one, you look tired, give formula. I'm like, what about what I want? Like, what about like, what?
Yeah, it's like give them the bottle and call it a day.
I was so disheartened, disillusioned, so disappointed. Like I felt like I failed just because I look tired, and this medical professional is telling me that. Yeah, so it was really hard. And honestly, like up to today, I strongly believe if my husband wasn't on the same page as me, if he wasn't advocating for me, I would not have.
And that's what we talk about, support.
Yeah, and like, you know, in a room, can you imagine, like my husband's there too. He wants to take care of me. If he hears a medical professional doing that, he might just be, give the bottle. Yeah. You cannot be tired.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, if your husband wasn't informed or on your side, he'd be like, right? Yeah,
do that. Yeah, so,
and obviously, this is not a conversation about, oh, don't give them the bottle.
Yeah,
the bottle better.
You want to do well. As a mom. But you need to know what the mom wants.
Yeah.
Well.
Yes.
How does what I want not matter? Like,
how did you not ask him? What I want? Yeah.
I don't know.
But the same way, like, do you remember your 6-week check?
My 6-week check, it was pretty fast.
Yeah.
It was pretty fast.
Do you remember the questions that they ask you and how like pathetic they are?
Not really. I don't remember the questions. I just remember like checking on the stitches because I did have.
Yeah.
And stitches healing well, and kind of that's it.
Was that C-section?
Yeah.
It was like, are the stitches healing well? I'm holding my son. Can you move?
Yeah.
And you're not getting a lot of sleep, right? I'm like, oh yeah, obviously. I'm like, what are you expecting? And then she was like, do you want contraception?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had a conversation about pap smear.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't have a conversation about contraception.
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
we need a pill. And you're just like, how is this my 6-week check? My husband's like, no. My husband tried to like, he's like, no, we're holding the contraception. He's like, I'm holding it. I'm like, what conversation is this? Yeah, this is it. This is it. We're holding one. What are you doing to women? You're not asking me about how I'm feeling. You're just assuming. You're just like, from being 6, and they're thinking that from 0 to 6 week, my health, my physical, my mental, my emotional health is as good as it's gonna get at 6 weeks, and nothing beyond that. What if I was still crying at 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Like you did, just
Yeah.
I think women deserve better.
Yeah.
Our kids deserve better.
But it's so hard though, because then like, what's the alternative? Like a long checklist.
Yeah.
Like emotional state.
Yeah. Like,
state.
Yeah.
And then
So they should ideally would give you even a form of like just checking on your emotional mental health. There's a whole, oh my gosh, I forget the name. Is it the Edinburgh scale? No, not the Edinburgh scale, but there's a proper form to check on the mum's mental health. We can probably put it at the link and everything.
Okay.
So, give that. But like, okay, well, what does your village look like? Where do you need help? How are you feeding? Are you sleeping? Are you eating?
Yeah. I did not eat well. I did not sleep well. I did not eat well up until the point my daughter was into solids. Because then I realized, well, I'm sitting here when she's eating solids. I might as well eat. Like it became like that, Like I'm like, no, like it's fine. I'll eat whatever scraps that I can wherever.
Yeah.
But now that I'm sitting here, my daughter's eating. I have nothing to do. I might as well just eat. Like
yeah, we're all guilty of that. Right? We're all guilty of that. We all just putting our kids first and just putting ourselves second. And oh my gosh, I don't know if we're just primed from our mothers and our grandmothers because they're just so used to just bending over backwards and looking after everyone else but themselves. Yes, motherhood's hard. You don't need to forget yourself.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, it's like, if again back to like what we mentioned earlier, if the mother is better taken care of, she has more to give, and she'll hopefully like raise better kids as well. It's more. Let's win.
Yeah, there's a whole saying around it that like it's just like you want to have a happy kid after the mother or something like that. Look after the mother. Listen. You don't even have to spend money.
Yeah.
You can just go outside for a walk every day. Fresh air, some sunlight. Go leave the kids or whatever. Just go to the mall for half an hour. You don't have to spend money. I never want anyone to be like, she has the resources. She has the resources. You're like, no, you also have to make time how you feel at the end of it. Maybe a year later, your circumstances are different. Maybe it looks like an hour of walk. Yeah. An hour of workout at the gym by yourself. Yeah. We are full of excuses. Yeah. Walking is free. Walking is free. Walking outside is free. walking outside is free. You have that time. Going to the local pool for like $1.50, $2. Your coffee costs more than yeah. I think 4 times more. Yeah. So it's you do a month cycle. Yeah. Show up. Yeah. Show up for that. Yeah. And talk to other mothers. Talking's great as well. It's great therapy. Both of you are also very much knee deep in early parenting, right? I'm sure there's a lot of struggles doing your own business too. How do you guys catch yourselves when you're like feeling stressed? How do you catch yourselves and try to like regulate your yourself? No, you tell. They like adjusting each other. Yeah, we're adjusting each other. I'm living on coffee. This whole thing I'm like, I need to drink coffee drink.
Let's retract to 2 years ago, yeah? When I first got my child. So I didn't ever...
It was like the same point, right? Like when you had your child and when the clinic...
Oh, yeah. Radiah and I used to work for another clinic. Yeah. Okay, a few weeks after she'd come back from mat leave. Oh. And then it closed down. Oh, like that. Like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I wasn't expecting that.
She came back in January, and a few weeks later, the clinic was closed.
Yes. Yeah. And then by March, we are running.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Because Oh,
That's amazing.
three reasons, crazy. We look back and we're crazy. And
You need a little crazy to
yeah, of course. You know what? Like people have asked me, right? I mean, by the time this goes live, everyone knows that Radiah is pregnant, right? We started telling a few people, and people looked at me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, how do you feel?" I was like, you know what? I'm so happy for her. When you work with women, this is going to happen. We knew going in that this is the reality. Either she gets pregnant or I get pregnant, or we're both pregnant. It's gonna be like that. Okay?
See you in 4 months.
Can we close by and see her? Okay, it's gonna be we work like how can we be supporting families, be a family clinic, rooting for pregnancy,
And not support it? That's crazy.
You know,
That's crazy.
yes, it's a business, but we're humans. It's gonna happen. Business is part of us. It's not what defines. It's not all of us. Our families come first. People have asked us, and we had this conversation Tuesday night, right? And Radiah told that to someone. And they're like, and what are you gonna? I was like, you know what? If anyone can do this, it's us. If anyone can do this, it's us. Because when the clinic closed down, Radiah came back from mat leave, so she's a local.
Yeah.
I'm on an EP. So my EP was cancelled.
Yeah, like it's a amount of time after, like,
so it's like a short window. Yeah, short window.
Yeah.
Oh, my husband's on an EP as well, so I can go on his DP.
Okay.
But what people don't know is I can't work on a DP. I can't be a chiropractor on a DP. That means as a local, she's opening the business. It's her name on ACRA. It's her name on the business. She's also the one adjusting people.
Maybe she can.
I can't work.
She's the receptionist.
I'm the receptionist. I'm not even a receptionist. I'm just like
Everything.
I'm just existing in the back in the business. In the business. He's doing everything. Oh my God. Yes. So we are sourcing for a place. We are like,
sorry, I'm gonna hate it.
I know.
I told you I don't get headache through this pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
Like, thankfully, I don't get headache. If you're listening to this, I'm
Listening to
like,
this? Can you imagine us doing this? Well, how old is Dia at this point?
4
months.
months. 4 months.
She's 4 months.
Going into 5.
Yeah. She's exclusively breastfeeding, still healing, recovering.
Yeah.
Then we're like sourcing for a place. First, we're processing this information.
Yeah.
Then, while all this is happening, patients who have known us,
they'll reach out to you.
they're like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. You can just.
And they're like, oh, but we had such amazing supportive patients. They're like, do what you need to do. We'll support you. We'll wait for it. We'll wait. And you know, that's what kept us going.
Yes.
If it wasn't
Those relationships.
And those relationships have really, so if you're listening, thank you so much. Like, they've supported us 2.5 years later. And at first it was just like, do we even want to do this? Are we crazy? My husband thought we were crazy. And I was just like, why are you guys doing that?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, go work with someone else. And I'm just like,
And like,
get a paycheck. Then I told a friend that, hey, this is what happened. And then Brad, hi Brad, Brad had like come in. Brad is another chiropractor and a friend of ours. And so I studied with him and I told him, hey, this is what's happened with the clinic. We're thinking about it. But we've opened, but we don't have a space. So he said that his clinic is closed certain times of the day, certain days. He's like, you can rent my space. I was like, great. So we had
the setup is there already.
Setup is there. So we literally just opened shop during the month of Ramadan.
Oh, wow.
Fasting, go on, fasting.
Extra money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we were just like, we're going to do it. So that was March of 2024.
Correct.
So we worked there March, April, May, June, while we're sourcing for a place, renovating a place. Then we moved into the Beauty World clinic where you came in July that year.
Wow.
So all while raising a kid. But yeah, raising kids.
Yeah.
Raising a newborn. Well, what did you do yourself?
Like,
How did you do it? How did you do it?
Like, without, going crazy.
No, we're all crazy.
I know, right?
We are crazy.
The first few weeks, I'm like, whoa, what's happening? So to be honest, I am a very good follower. Okay. So as long as I believe and I trust this process, it will work. Inshallah, just go. You work towards it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you must have a motivation. My motivation is my patients and my dedication to my work, chiropractic as it is.
Yeah.
And also to my partner. So I trust this process. Go with it. Find support. And I have beautiful family, my in-laws, helping to help to take care of Dia. So they have been there for me all this while. Family help to take care of Dia. I help to arrange it.
And navigating mother.
But it sounded like you didn't so maybe I'm sifting this out because this is what I tend to do. It sounded like you didn't overthink too much.
Oh yeah.
Like you're just like really trusting and believing and that's great. When you overthink, you're just giving yourself all these possibilities of points of failure or points of this, that, and you're like, do I go? Do I not go? You have to speak too much.
I have just such an imposter syndrome though. But I was just like, but if I'm not going to do it, whether we do this or whether we pack up, and this is a great way to go back to New Zealand. But what does going to New Zealand mean?
Yeah.
Do I now work for someone else again, or do I start a business there?
Yeah. Then it's
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I knew
you start something there, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't been in that community for 9 years.
You have like clients,
connection.
Yes.
It's just really building from scratch. Right over here, every day people were like, what happens? Where are you? Where have you gone? What do you need? And I think that's just what like really kept us going, that trust and support from the clients, from these practice members who've known us for so long. Like I have patients, so when I moved here 9 years ago, I used to work in a clinic in Bugis. I have patients that I've followed all the way through. I have patients who have, so I've looked after the parents. They had teenage kids at that time. And teenage kids, I looked after those teenage kids 9 years ago. One became a teacher. I attended her wedding last year.
No.
And you know what? She came in. She's pregnant. A few weeks ago, I had full on tears. And she looked at her husband. She's like, I told you. I told you to stop crying. Because it's so rewarding. It's such a full circle moment. She used to come with her parents.
I love that.
And that's what kept us going.
Yeah.
So that's why we did it. Crazy.
And especially in Singapore with business, with financial, it's climate, right?
It's not easy,
it's a lot of stresses.
It's not, and that constant fear of my EP may not get approved. And then what am I going to do?
Year for you.
Do you remember when you had told me we were going to view the beauty world for some renovation? At this point, my EP was still not approved. We were still going for renovations. We were driving, and you got the email. You're like, Aymun, it's approved. And I have full of your pride. And my friend's like, why are you? I think I'm just happy.
Catching my email.
We were opening, like she was working 2 days a week and then going hard. Like by the end of the shift, she would be like, oh, I think we need to go now. I'm sick.
I was like, you okay? Was it right?
She wasn't even pumping. She was feeding. So, so she's like, I'm full. I think I need to go home now. Motherhood at its peak.
I love it.
I'm full.
No, I gotta go. I'm Cinderella's like,
It's moving.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, right? But I mean, 2.5 years later, you wouldn't even know that we were in the depths of it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. Yeah.
Very inspiring.
Yeah, and she had her family. We have no one here. So my husband and I. And my son, we don't have anyone. I would like look at her family, they're like, inshallah, it will be fine. Inshallah. And even now with my husband, I'm just like, I mean, you just do it. You do the hard things, just like all the mothers that are listening, the parents that you do the hard things, you show up and you do it.
Yeah.
And then
I hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Yeah, that's it. It was, yeah, that's it.
I think this is a beautiful way to end it. Very inspiring, and I hope it inspires everyone else out there too.
This is a sign. If you're sitting on something, do it.
I love that. Any last words you want to share to mothers out there? Maybe first-time moms who are deep in the trenches.
How? Okay, for all moms, it is important to always catch yourself first and be on the safe side before you think about others, especially with your kids. So make sure that you get the support that you want or that you need before anything else, so that you can actually move on and tackle your day better. So that's the one thing that I would suggest for support.
And I would say you don't have to do this alone. There's people out there who will help you. There is support available outside. You trust your mum gut. It's there for a reason. We are very innately built with this gut feeling for a reason. Trust it. You're not crazy for thinking there's something going on. There's help available, and yeah, just go seek and
To seek the help you
go
need.
seek the help you need.
Yeah.
Build that village if you don't have that around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, build that. Yes, no time, make time.
Yeah.
No time, make time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us.